Hi, my name is Barbara Hawkins Dixon,
And I am Darlene Mayman.
and we are the authors of Substance of Building a Healthy Relationship. And today's topic is the effect that infidelity has on your marriage or relationship.
Yes, such a good subject today, Barbara. So let's get into it by me sharing a story. When we talk about infidelity, that's something that uh, really affect a person because that's like the other person is cheating on that person. So of course you're gonna have some emotions or some feelings behind that. Even if it's in a marriage or relationship, either way is wrong if you're doing that to somebody. But let me just share a little story of how I felt when that happened to me. I was around 8 months pregnant with my son, and I was in a relationship, and I was working downtown at ESPN Zone, and the guy that I was in a relationship with, he was messing around with one of the workers there. Now, this young lady was someone who come to my desk every day and talk to me and speak to me and call me mom and everything because she was a younger young lady. And come to find out that them two was messing around, and it was bad because basically everybody knew it in the company but me. I saw little things, but you don't pay things no attention, but I saw little things, how she would walk through um the areas where the cooks used to prep the food and everything, and start having her blouses where her breast was hanging out and everything. So it was quite obvious, what she was doing. I didn't know who she was flirting with, but come to find out she was flirting with the one who I was in that relationship with. So the co-workers knew about it, but they didn't want to tell me because what in my pregnancy around my 7 to 8 months, I found out I was high risk. So my blood pressure and stuff had to be at a certain level, so that I wouldn't go into like a miscarriage or have labor too early or whatever. So co-workers didn't want to tell me what was going on, but they were seeing it and they didn't want to say nothing. But finally, after a while, two of the co-workers that I know that was friends with me was walking one day toward the park and saw them two sitting at the park on the bench, hugging and kissing each other. So they confronted them, and got on him and got on her and let them know, oh, we're going to tell her. We're going to tell her. So like a day or so later, they came to my desk where I was working, and they said, we need to speak to you. So I was like, okay, what's going on? And they was like, well, we want you to sit down. I said, I'm already sitting down. What y'all got to tell me, right? So they was like, we caught, your guy and the girl, who works in the game room messing around. And I was like, well, what girl? So they told me who it was. And I was like, you're joking. This girl be in my face every day. She come to my face saying hello and how you doing and all of that. And come to find out all that time, she had been messing around with the guy who I was with at that time. So of course, I got really hurt my feelings. You can just imagine, and plus I'm pregnant too. You're already emotional or whatever going on. So, so I said, okay, let me calm myself down. So I got to handle this, right? And they was like, are you okay? Do you want us to handle it? I was like, no, I got to handle this. So I went to the area and I let them know we need to go outside and talk because I didn't want to cause no scene inside the restaurant. So we stepped on out. We stepped on out, and I said, so I just found out, is it true that you and so messing around with each other? That idiot said, yeah, it's true. And I did it because with you being pregnant, I can't do what I want to do with you because you're pregnant. So I wind up messing with her. And I was like, wow. Now, can you imagine somebody, your
That
significant
was
other,
so
your mate, to say something like that to you and how that would make you feel. And then he said it like it was nothing and had an attitude, right? He talking about, and then say, well, it is what it is, and ain't no sense of you, standing here getting upset about it and get yourself all upset. I messed up. I said, yeah, you messed up. You really did mess up. So uh so I guess she found out about it that we was outside talking. So she came to the door, and before she can come to the door, I gave her a look. She turned back around and went back in the building, right? Because I guess she say, "Oh,
I know she did.
oh, she must know, So she went on
That
back to
was
the building,
really low class.
but that was low.
To
So
be
that
in your face every day,
every
speaking to you,
day, yes, every
calling you
day,
mom, and all the time she's
yes.
sneaking with
Yeah,
your significant other.
yeah, and that was a terrible feeling. And when I look back at, when you think about all those kind of things that you done put yourself in these relationships, you tell yourself, I tell myself, you was just so stupid back then. When you look at it, you be like, how gullible was I? Why, like, it just, when you think about it, you can't believe that you put yourself in those kind of situations like that, right? Because when I think about it, I'd be like, hey, I can't believe I went through that, or I accepted that, or that was in my face and I didn't even see it. And I was like, down on myself. But like you said, you don't see everything.
Right? You don't see everything. A lot of times you blinded by love and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
picture that you want to see.
yeah.
You focus on the picture you want to
You
see.
want to see.
But
Yeah.
that's not the picture that's being presented to you. You
Yes,
thinking
yes.
that you could change someone. Uh
Uh-huh.
no matter how good you be to a person, if it's
True.
not in them to respect you and
Yes.
that they love you,
Mm-hmm.
ain't nothing you could do
Yeah.
to bring to make them
Yeah.
commit themselves fully to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's just, we like I said, we women's men's, you just have to stop blindsiding yourself and
Mm-hmm.
see things for what they are, not what you want them to be.
That's true. That's true. And I think about that. And then, but I got about that situation. I was done, completely done. And then after I had the baby and everything, I had to raise him by myself. And then a couple of years later, he won't try to come back in the picture like everything is good with some darn flowers. Girl, I took the flowers and threw them in a garbage can and told him where he can go. You 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 got
I
you got
know
a
you did.
lot of nerve. Yeah. You
That's
got
a lot of nerve
a
to
lot of
think he
nerve.
could come back. But see,
Yeah.
that's the thing. You take so much from a person
Uh-huh.
and they get used to you taking it and them being able to manipulate you.
Yeah.
They feel like she done took all of this from me. No matter what I do, she's not gonna go
Right.
anywhere.
Right.
He's not gonna go anywhere. She
Mm-hmm.
gonna continue to accept the mistreatment that I'm giving her. And
True.
a lot of times you could be with a person and they treat you like nothing. And
Yeah.
then someone else come along and it's peaches and cream.
Mm-hmm.
That happens because they didn't want to you in the first place.
In
They
the beginning.
settled for you
Yeah.
because at the time you was a convenience to them. You was a
Mm-hmm.
stepping stone for them
Mm-hmm.
until they could get on their feet. But then all everything that you put yourself through, I won't even say everything that they put you through. You
Mm-hmm.
put yourself through it because
True.
you already knew what was before you. You trying to make the picture the way you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And
And that's
so,
where we make our mistakes at.
right,
That's what we
exactly.
make our because you
That's
can't
where,
change nobody to be what you want them to be.
right, they not changing unless they want to
Want to
change.
change. Right.
And if they don't have that love for you, that
They're not going
respect
to
for
change.
you,
Right.
uh,
They,
that commitment, feeling committed to you, they're not going to
hmm
change.
They're not going to
The
change.
only change you're going to get is for the works.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then somebody else come along, like I say, and they get all into that person. And they giving that person the love, the respect, understanding, communication, everything that you was asking for and never got.
That's true.
And so the thing is, like we said before, you have to not allow yourself to be somebody's
Yeah.
stepping stone.
True. True.
Because once they step over there, when they get think they at the top, they gonna walk all over you. The
Mm-hmm.
true color gonna come out.
Yeah.
See, they pretended from the beginning, but now you done took so much from them, they
Mm-hmm.
don't have to pretend no more. They could just be who they are. A
Mm-hmm.
manipulator, the bad,
Right.
giving
Right.
you the bad treatment, talk
Mm-hmm.
to you any kind of way, and everything's supposed to be good and stay safe. Where they feel they can walk out the door, and anytime they decide to come back, you're gonna open the door back for them and let them in.
Right.
That's the control. That's because you let them control the have the control in the relationship. And
Mm-hmm.
you set back like you in bondage and let
Mm-hmm.
somebody else run the show.
Right. That is true.
So infidelity in a marriage, uh, a relationship, especially a marriage, it causes separation,
Mm-hmm.
uh, trust issues,
Mm-hmm.
a misunderstanding, the communication changes because now you have this anger built up in you and
Mm-hmm.
frustration built up in you to every time you see the person, you feel like you want to just uh knock their head off, you know, because
Yes.
any little
Yeah.
thing could trigger you.
Yeah.
It's how you say you could forgive. You could
Right.
forgive somebody, but that don't mean you're gonna forget
I
what
don't
they
think.
put you through.
Yeah.
And
I don't.
so
I'm sorry.
and
Go on,
so
Barbara.
therefore any little thing will trigger it.
Mm-hmm.
Because in your mind, if they did it once, they'll
They're
do
gonna
it
do it
again.
again. So do you think I don't me myself, I don't feel that I can stay in a marriage or in a relationship if I know that the other person has cheated. Because I will always have that feeling, because you know yourself. I will always have that feeling and we wondering, well, if he did it that time, you're gonna do it. Who says he's not gonna do it again? Some people can, forgive and stay in a relationship, but I know me, I couldn't do it because that would always be on my mind. Like you said, the trust would be there won't be no trust anymore because it'll always be in my mind. Okay, they did it once, they're gonna do it again. You know what I'm saying? Or you not comfortable when they go in and out the door where they going, and you won't know where they going and who they with because you didn't just lost our trust because you feeling like they sneaking out doing something else. So I don't think that I could stay in that. I think that would be just one time you do it would just be enough for me that this relationship or marriage is over.
But we also have to realize that
Mm-hmm.
cheating is not just physical.
Yes. Yes.
Cheating is mental too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just the act itself. It's
Mm-hmm.
the things happen that lead to the physical part of it.
Right.
But when you texting, that's cheating.
Yeah.
You having a private conversation, anything
That's
that you
cheating.
have
Yeah.
to hide from your spouse
That's
is
cheating.
cheating.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
if you have to hide it, it's something in it that shouldn't be in it. Whether it's talking to a coworker,
Yeah.
it's different aspects of it.
Yeah.
And so we have to realize, like I say, that cheating is just not the physical act. So
Right.
One might not be able to take it this way, and somebody else might not be able to take it this way.
Right.
Some people might feel, okay, well, I don't know that he's physically cheating, but you seeing the other sides,
Mm-hmm.
from the flirting, out the flirtations, or the
Yeah,
texting,
texting.
secret texts,
Right.
and all
Yeah.
of that. All of that lead to how we say the main event. And so,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It does.
so you just,
Yeah, that's what it leads to.
right. And
Yeah.
so you just have to stay a step ahead, keep your
Mm-hmm.
eyes open, listen to your heart, stay focused for yourself, and don't blindside yourself. See an
Mm-hmm.
apple for an apple.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to make it out to be an orange. An apple and an orange is completely different, okay?
Two different
And
things. Yes.
that's what we do. We see what's going on, but then
Right.
you act like you don't see
You
it
don't
because
see it,
you
but you
don't
see
want
it.
to.
You don't want
Yeah,
to see it.
you
You
don't
don't
want
want
to
to
face
see
the
it.
fact. Right.
Right.
You don't want to face the fact because you still trying to hold on to something
Uh-huh.
that should have been gone.
And then the bad part about it is why you trying to hold on and fix it, they ain't paying you a bit of mind. You don't even matter. Father, they concerned, but they know, like you said, oh, she ain't going nowhere. I got that. She gonna let me do this and do that, and ain't nothing gonna be said. Couple of words, and then that's it. Back to the old self again. But that's where we mess up at. Like you said, you gotta be open. You gotta pay attention. You gotta, watch what you're hearing and seeing, and don't be blindsided. And we do that, and that's what we do. And like you said, we see it, but we try to don't want to see it, and that's where we mess up at. And then they know it, and
Of
they
course
continue
they know
to
it.
do and manipulate and do what they do because they know you ain't saying nothing about it, and they gonna get around it. And that's what they do. They don't care, and
And
they
they will
showing you.
use reverse psychology on you if you allow.
Uh-huh.
You know, they committed, he or she
Mm-hmm.
committed the act of cheating.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you bring it up, you wrong
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
because
Mhm.
they want you to forget about it.
Right. Don't think about it. Why you keep bringing that up? That's the
Right, you
past.
just bringing it up.
Right. Right.
You committed the act,
Mm-hmm.
so why can't I bring it up?
Right. Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's
Have
that's
you ever went through life and experienced that?
well, I have experienced I have had an experience of that, but it was not a committed really a committed relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Uh because and another thing that I want to bring up too is so-called friends.
Oh
You
yes.
have to be careful who you
Yes.
are friends
Yes.
because that was way back before
Yeah.
I was even married.
Uh-huh.
It was this guy, he was so interested in me,
Uh-huh.
but I wasn't interested in dating him. He was a nice guy, but I wasn't interested in him. And he
Mm-hmm.
used to want to take me out to lunch or dinner or something, have a
Mm-hmm.
drink. And I would tell him no all the time. And
Mm-hmm.
so he was so anxious that he wanted to go out on a date with me till
Mm-hmm.
he say, well, I'm willing to pay for whoever else you want to go if that's going to get you to go on a
Okay.
date with me.
Uh-huh.
And he did. And the person that I took with me
Was a friend.
was a friend. And
Okay.
so we are having a cocktail. So, listening to the music. And he asked me to dance. And I said, no. I said, no, I don't want to dance.
Mm-hmm.
And so he said, okay, that's fine. He accepted that. Then another song came on. And uh, my friend said, oh, that's my jam, which I knew she liked the song.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's my jam. That's my jam. And so he asked me again, did I want to dance? I said, no. And so she said, well, I dance with you. He asked me, is it okay? I said, sure, it's okay. I mean, it ain't no connection between us. You see what I'm saying? So,
Uh-huh.
but as you get older and you look at different things, it was just a respect,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, that he asked me that he was a mature person and believed and respecting whoever he's out with. So
Mm-hmm.
they went on the floor, started dancing, and I'm busy just sipping on my little cocktail and just listening to the music and checking my surroundings out around me. And so the song went off. And so he was getting ready to walk back to the table. Then a slow song came on. And she said, oh, that's my child too. And grabbed her by the hand, so they started dancing. I didn't care because I had already told her I wasn't into the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, in the middle of the song, he comes walking off the floor. And I said, what happened? I, he said, you sure that's your friend? And I said, yeah, why you say that? He said, you better be careful who you call friend. He said,
Mm-hmm.
I had to walk off the floor on her, say a slow jam, with
Mm-hmm.
dancing, and I'm trying to keep the distance between us.
Mm-hmm.
And she was trying to be all over me. I don't know whether you told her that you weren't interested in me or whatever, but whatever the case is, if she's supposed to be your friend, she wouldn't have been all over me
Right.
like that.
Right. Like that. Right.
Like that. And so I'm like, really? He said, you didn't see? I said, no, I wasn't watching you
Mm-hmm.
all,
Mm-hmm.
which was the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't watching them. Y'all dancing. It, like I said, was no connection between us.
Mm-hmm.
And so once he told me that, and I said, okay, I'm going to ask her about this. I'm going to address this.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, she tried to deny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he said, uh, we are not a mate. He said, I have no reason to lie.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'm not that type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in you wanting to date you. I'm not interested in your friend. Say, if
Mm-hmm.
I was a dog guy, I didn't even have to tell you that. He said, but that's not me. I said, okay, all right. And so, a lesson was learned from that. Even though that was years and years and years ago,
Years ago. Yeah.
yeah, a
Mm-hmm.
lesson came with it. So
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't repeat the same mistake over. See,
Right.
in my opinion, once you go through something, it's a lesson in it.
Yeah.
And so you supposed to not repeat the
The
same
same
mistake.
thing. True.
To repeat because now it's no longer a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
You knew what happened the first time, and then
Mm-hmm.
you allowed it to happen again. That's
Yeah.
on you.
True. And I can say I can vouch for that and say that, Barbara, because when you continue to keep repeating the same cycles and you see the same cycles, but you continue to see it and go through it, and the same stuff is happening over and over with every relationship that you get in, it's a lesson from that. And like you said, sometimes it takes, like, some people can go through it once or twice and they done, you learn. But sometimes it takes, people have to go through it a couple of times or whatever for you to really see it. And that's where I noticed I made my mistake, and with all the relationships that I have been in, that I was repeating cycles of the same thing. Each one was the same thing or close to being the same thing. Each person was doing the same thing, and I'm going through the same stuff with each person I was with. So, like I said, you learn all these things as you get older. You see the patterns, you see it. And sometimes we just be blindsided by it. And I just think, God, that for today, I'm finally, even though I'm older now, in my 60s or whatever, but you would think I would have bypassed all this back in my younger days when I was going through it and study seeing the same patterns. But like you said, as you get older, you start seeing things. And I'm glad today that I've learned from all the things that I have been through and watching those same cycles. And so now my doors have closed. Now it's going to be real hard for me now, to just kind of, not saying that you can't trust anybody, or not saying that there's someone out there for you, because there's someone for everybody. But this
That's true.
time around, it's someone out there for everybody. But this time around, I know that I'm going to sit back and let God pick, and God bring that person that should be, that he wants in my life. Because my issue was, I'm picking and choosing when God says, don't do it. That's not the one. Or, no, he telling you, but like
And
you said,
he's showing you the
and
signs,
he's showing you the signs, and like,
what you want, what you want,
but how many
instead
times
of
do he have to show you the sign before you get it? You're
right.
gonna get it sooner or later. But and I look, that's how I look at my life now. How many times did God have to show me before I got it? So I'm glad today that I'm finally understanding, because everything that God put you through is for a reason. It's a learning experience that you go through. Sometimes you kind of question yourself, why me? Why me? Because that's what God wanted you to go through. That's what God
But
needed
we
you to see.
also have to remember
Uh-huh.
too
Uh-huh.
that it's not God taking us through all of this. It's
True.
us taking
Us taking us
ourselves
through.
through this,
Yeah.
because he didn't already gave
Showed you.
us the signs and showed
Yeah.
us that
Yeah.
this is not the direction to go, but
Uh-huh.
you choose to go that direction.
Yeah.
And
Because let me,
so that's why you end up bumping our heads,
yes,
because
because
we
I
didn't
laugh.
listen.
Because
So
I
when God
laugh.
speaks to you, you have
You
to know
need to
when to
listen.
listen. And you
'Cause
could hear him talking to you, but
yeah, that's
you
why I'm
in
laughing.
your mind, you still saying, but I still want to do this.
And you like,
So
okay,
he said,
dummy.
okay,
Yeah,
go ahead,
look, I done
stop
heard God
your
say,
head.
look, I done heard God say, okay, dummy. Okay. You,
Okay.
you don't want, I'm saying, I done heard God say, okay, dummy. You ain't listening, you ain't seeing. I'm showing you everything in your face that you need to see. And you still sitting back wondering, why me, Lord? Why me? Because you
Right,
ain't listening. You're not
right.
listening. So I'm gonna let you go through the fire. Wait a minute. I'm gonna let you go through the fire. I'm gonna let you go through the hurt and the pain until you get it. And and then when you got something, he gonna put you through it, because he trying to tell you. And that's where I would mess up at. The stuff was putting there for me to see. It's putting there for me to see, and I just was not listening. But love does that to you.
It blind.
It blinds you, because that's not what you want to see. That's not what you want to believe, and that's not what you want to feel that person would do. But then after a while, you just done, and I'm gonna tell you, when you done, you're done. It ain't nothing else that can be said to you. It ain't nothing else that they can bring to you, because when, like they said, when a woman, what's the song? What's the
When a
song?
woman's fed up by R.
When a
Kelly,
woman's yeah,
ain't
when a woman's
nothing you
fed
can
up,
do
it
about it.
ain't nothing else that you can say or do because all the opportunities was there for you to get it together, to get it right, to fix the situation, and you decide that you're going to continue to do what you do. And people get fed up. After a while, you can't keep just taking advantage and using people and mistreating people. You just can't continue to do that and think it's all okay. And it's going to continue and continue because there's going to come a day where they're going to say enough is enough and they're done. You just done.
And then they think they gonna walk away uh clear into this pretty beautiful world that's awaiting
Mm-hmm.
them
Uh-huh.
after they have done so much wrong,
Mm-hmm.
to you things you know of, things you don't
Mm-hmm.
know of.
Mm-hmm.
But God knows, He sees it all.
Right.
And so
Right.
how you think you gonna have this picture perfect life with
And you're
all
not
the
all the things that you
drama and
have done.
all the unhappiness that you have caused someone else?
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
people have to realize karma is something else.
Yes,
You
it
might
is.
not get it from the person that treated you badly,
Mhm.
but the person that you are into that came
Mhm.
along later
Mhm.
gonna treat you just like you treated that other person.
Yeah, or worse.
Yes,
Or
or worse.
worse. Or worse. Or worse. And the one that you treated badly gonna get with someone who gonna treat them like a queen. And then
Yes,
you gonna be sitting back mad talking about, yeah, you messed up, but you can forget it now.
right.
Yeah, you
And
can't forget it
who
now.
was
'Cause
that?
one man's trash is another man's
Another
treasure. You
man's
know they
treasure.
say that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And that's so true.
That is
And
so true.
yeah, and I'm trying to remember his name. He spoke about it. I'm trying to see it he's a singer. And
Mhm.
he cheated on his wife. Well, I'm not gonna mention no name, it came to me. But he
Uh-huh.
cheated on his wife, uh,
Mhm.
and cheated. And finally she got tired
Mhm.
and she left. And now the man that she's with treats her like a queen.
Mhm.
And he can't do anything but not be angry. He said he can't be angry at that man. He said
Mhm.
first he was angry at him, but he couldn't be angry at that man. He had to be angry at himself because he know he had a prize and he didn't treat her as a prize. So
Mhm.
this man is doing everything for his ex that he should have been doing
You
all the
should have been
time
doing.
because he
Yeah.
knew she was a good woman.
Mhm.
And he said, so I can't blame nobody but myself.
But see, that's where it comes to that. You don't really know what you had until it's gone. You don't realize what you had until you don't have it anymore. And then somebody else then came in and took over. Now you
And
upset and
showing
mad.
you everything you should have been doing.
Right. But how
But
you
now
right.
she's keeping a smile on her face.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I to say I got a smile on my face and you didn't put it there, you
Uh-huh.
know, because it's important. We spoke of that in I think the last one. That
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if your mate or spouse isn't to you, they
Mm-hmm.
want to see you smile. They
Yeah.
want to see you happiness because that happiness gonna overpour into them. But when
Mm-hmm.
you with somebody that don't try to bring happiness into your life or don't want to do things that's needed to do to keep the marriage or the relationship, uh, fire burning, and
Mm-hmm.
then that's not someone you could depend on.
Mm-hmm.
That's almost uh, the same as almost an enemy, somebody that you have
Yeah.
to watch.
Yeah.
Because if you I'm supposed to be your spouse or your significant others, and you content with seeing uh, unhappiness, a frown on my face instead of a smile. It's a
Mhm.
problem with
It's a
that.
problem. Right.
Yeah, so you're not the right person.
You're not
And
the right.
so, but yeah, but it's it is something else.
It is. It is.
All the effects that it could have on a person.
Yes, yes.
And
It's
I must say, with any relationship that I have had
mm-hmm.
prior to marriage, once the relationship was over, it was over.
Mm-hmm.
I never wanted anything that I once had.
Mm-hmm.
When I moved from that relationship, it's been a done deal. I
Mm-hmm.
never went back, how they say, for seconds.
Right.
When it was
Right.
over, it was over. You move on
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
pray and hope that you get something better.
Right. And I think that's where we make our mistakes at too. When you move on, you should stay moving on. We go back to it and you go back to it and ain't nothing changed. It's still the same thing. When you should have just kept that door closed and kept on moving.
Yes, to
Yeah.
keep on moving because then when you go back, you align yourself uh, to whatever you was getting in the relationship that
Mm-hmm.
you weren't liking that caused the relationship to come to an end. And then
True.
you go back, what they gonna do? Put their
Right.
best foot forward, and
Mm-hmm.
then once they feel they got you back under their wings to do the same thing over again
Same
and
thing
more.
over. Be good for a minute, then go back to same routine again.
Right. But
Yeah.
and another thing I could say, Darlene,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what relationship that I have been into as far as dating,
Mm-hmm.
not one ended on bad terms.
Okay.
Not one. When it was over, it was just over. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I didn't look back, you know, it
Mm-hmm.
was just over.
And I
How
think
people
too,
say
Barbara.
they look for
Yeah.
closure,
Yeah.
when the relationship is over, that's all the
It's
closure
over.
you need.
It's over. And I think you should.
For some
Yeah.
reason, we
Yeah.
not seeing eye to eye no more or something like that. But I
Mm-hmm.
have not been in that one relationship I could where I could see the person and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not able to say hi, or they not
Yeah.
able to say hi to me.
And that and
Because
that's
it
a
didn't
good thing.
end on no bad terms. It's just that the
Right.
relationship
The
ended.
relationship was, and I think that's what's good about it. Because if you can walk away from a relationship or a marriage without having even any grudge or any anger toward the person, that's a good thing. I mean, why should you be angry and be miserable? It didn't work out. You both moved on, and find peace within yourself. You can't walk around and be angry with the person because it just didn't
Yes.
work. Right? You can't. Right? Because then when you walk around with that anger, you messing up your blessings. While you mad, they content in doing what they doing, and you walking around still being angry. So when you can walk away without hating that person, and y'all still can, if you walk into them, you can still say hello and keep it going. Then that's a good thing.
Uh-huh.
That's a good
Because
thing, because
I could run into any ex that I ever had and
mm-hmm,
see them with they a wife if they didn't get married, or see them with a girlfriend. It
mm-hmm,
wouldn't face me no
right,
way,
right,
because what we had was over. So
mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter. Life goes on. I don't
It
care who
does.
you with now. You
Right,
know,
and you
so if
got to,
I see you, I'm not gonna feel a certain kind of way. Oh, look at this
yeah,
this and
no,
that. Oh,
no,
then no.
you know,
How you
because
doing?
you
Long
want
time no see.
you want the best for them. You don't want to see, all you want the best for that person. Just because it didn't work out between you two, don't mean that they It won't work out with you or with them, with somebody else, because everybody's not everybody's not equally yoked. Sometimes you get with the wrong person. Sometimes you got married when you shouldn't have got married. You know what I'm saying? You didn't really look into it thoroughly and just jump. And that's what we mess up too. We just jump into these relationships and these marriages so quickly without even giving it time to really know that person.
Right.
Right.
And that's
Right.
why I feel like I was
Mhm.
able to walk away
Mhm.
without any animosity, is
Yeah.
because in those relationships, if I
Mhm.
seen something that, I know I wasn't going to tolerate, it was just
Mhm.
a done deal. It was over, you
Mhm.
know, and on good terms. It was over. It's a conversation, and then that's it.
Yeah. And that's how it
Yeah.
should
So
be. Yeah.
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 So I could say that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, but
All right, girl. We getting toward our ending time. So this
I
was
know.
a good conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you
Mhm.
uh women's and men's out there,
Mhm.
if you have to cheat, leave.
Leave. Simple. Don't put the person
Right.
through that.
Don't put them through that. Just
Put them through
leave.
that. Just leave. Just let
And
them
if
know.
you can't bring them happiness, move out the way. Let somebody else come and do what you're
Yeah,
not willing to do. The
there you
same
go.
for the woman.
Right.
We're not discriminating here. If you're
Mm-hmm.
not satisfied with what you have, and then leave and let the next one come in and do,
True.
and be a good person.
Because you know what,
Let
Barbara, I always like this. Why be in a relationship or in a marriage and you're not happy? That's the
right.
worst thing you can do. If you and your significant other is not, happy in a relationship or in a marriage, then, walk away. It's no need to stay in something where you just constantly miserable every day. You're only hurting yourself and you're hurting that person. Just walk away. Let that person live his life and you live yours, and leave without no animosity or no anger toward them. It is
Yeah,
what it is.
that it is what it is.
Is what it is, and you got to accept that, and just because some people can't accept that it didn't work out, or I can't do without this person, or maybe we can fix it, but if it can't be fixed, it just can't be fixed. Everybody ain't made for each other
And some people's just not willing to fix it
to fix it. Yeah.
because that's not what they actually want.
Right. Right.
And so some people you find they don't want anything.
Mm-hmm.
Some people's just want to survive, not to live.
True.
And so it's a difference. So it comes a point in your life like, hey, what am I doing here?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
What are you
I'm
doing?
tired
Yeah.
of surviving. I
Right.
want to live. And so when you get to that point to make the difference between the two, you like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'm tired of this. It's time for this. So now
Yeah.
I want to live. I want to enjoy my life. I want to do what gonna do to make us happy, or if it's not gonna be a us, to make me happy.
There you go. That's the
Yeah.
and that's the bottom line to it all.
Yes, it is.
No need to cheat. Just go your way and let them go their way.
Yes. No more secret texting, no more secret calling, no more uh secret flirtations
I
and
know, and
then
all of that. You
acting
don't
like,
have to do
yeah,
that. Right. You don't have to
being
do that.
flirtations and then acting like you the one with the problem. You
Right.
saying things.
Uh-huh. Right.
Yeah.
Or making
Oh
or
my
saying
goodness.
things like it's just a text. Really?
It's just a text.
Just a text. Oh,
Honey,
cheating.
baby, sweetheart.
Right.
All
That's
of that
cheating. Oh no.
beautiful. All of that type of
But
stuff.
you know what? What? And
We
then
as women know if a man come to us with
mm-hmm,
that attitude, hey sweetheart, hey baby, hey
mm-hmm,
beautiful, what do we
mm-hmm.
say? They
Yeah.
flirting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Flirting. So we
Yeah.
ain't no different than the next
Right.
one.
Right. Right.
So
Okay, girl, we got
oh,
it.
the next man. Yes.
So
So
we'll be back again maybe Sunday. Maybe Sunday, this Sunday, we can do another one.
yeah, after the
Okay.
holidays.
After
Yeah.
the holiday. And so you guys have a great, happy Thanksgiving and, enjoy the family, enjoy the food. Don't eat too much.
Okay. And gobble, gobble, gobble.
I know. Okay, you
And get
guys have a
all
good
that
one.
cooking in. Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.